Oh, there we go. We're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome for round number 3 of the North American Grand Prix Monday Night Championship, coming to you live this evening from Imola, Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari. Historic track, unbelievable track. We have just flipped over to qualifying, and as always, I'm joined by my broadcast partner here tonight. Yes, my Monday night teammate, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Yeah, we need the points too.
Yeah,
well,
time.
one of your favorites, one of my favorites, one of everybody's favorites. Boy, how many? We have had so many races here in the past. It's been a solid decade. It's official, Al, and I don't know how many times we've run here. Let's call it 25. You know, literally. I tell you, this race never disappoints. And if I'm reading the tea leaves right, looking at the standings throughout the week of practice, I think we're in for another hell of a race tonight.
Yeah, as the field makes their way out of the pits, this 25-minute qualifying session at Imola. You're right, this is 10 years last week we marked, and yes, we've been here quite many times. We've run this track, and it always puts on a great show. Well, let's take a quick look at the track map while we can. And as you can see, 17 corners, some very famous names, Mariante Alta, Acqua Minerale, Ravazza. Just an outstanding track. I think Acqua Minerale is one of my favorite sections in all of motorsports, especially driving in these sims. I love, especially these cars going through there. It's a blast when you get it right. But we're going to jump on board real quick here with Andrew Adamson. Take us around this track in anger.
Yeah, Adamson was looking pretty darn good in practice. Chris Moses, we saw, also turning some very nice times as well. The braking, these guys really got down. Braking so late into turn 1 for that first chicane complex there. It changed, of course, after seasons passed. Now a lot of these guys electing to go with just 5 gears, not only around this track, but in a couple other tracks we've seen. I think that these guys are getting more response, throttle response, not spinning up those turbos so fast by lengthening these gears. Now, we're coming up to your favorite part of the track here, and I gotta agree with you, Al, when you get it right, holy cow, is it just sublime. Ooh, Adamson does not quite get it right there, but it's a quick blast from 4th that you see down into 2nd, and boy, you got to get it right. Now, coming up here to the hairpin, you can be aggressive, brake really super late, and try to take time that way, or you can try to keep some momentum, try to blast over the curb with a little bit more speed. It's like Adamson really elects for a little bit of both, kind of an in-between line there. And coming up on the traffic of Gupper.
Came up on Gup, yeah. Looks like Gup was having some connection issues there. Yeah. Lagging a little bit. But Moses quickly jumps to 2nd. John Houston had provisional pole for half a second, but Kirkbride just took it away from him with a 24.9. So Kirkbride looks like he's going to continue out on this lap of his. But yeah, you mentioned the 5 gears. It's interesting. Some people let the cat out of the bag at some point that they were doing that. I know, like you said, I think they're getting more out of the turbos doing it that way at some tracks. But I think you're going to need 6 around here, Brett.
Well, I did a few extra laps over my standard recon amount of laps, and I have to say I was using 5 gears myself, and it was pretty beneficial around this place. You can really stomp the throttle quite a bit. Oh, Kirkbride.
Yeah, Kirkbride gets it
so I think 5 gears the order of the day for the faster guys around here, but nonetheless, I think we're going to see those times drop. Chris Moses, we did see him turn a mid-23 there in that official practice session. So those times will drop, but Kirkbride at the moment looking pretty sharp.
Lansky currently slotted into 3rd provisionally, but I saw Canola out there. He was up in both sectors, but it looks like he made a mistake in the final sector. But as we continue to watch, Lemansky's down a little bit in Sector 1. Some of the lap times we saw here leading up to tonight, Moses dipped down into the 23s right before we switched over, but Houston is really he's got some really nice pace. He threw up a 24.1 in qualifying trim in practice. So let's see if he can match that. Right now he's a little behind his best time. As Lemansky making his way through Variante Alta. That chicane is very tricky. It looks like he's going to back out of it and try again as Parsons jumped up to third. Moses up big in the first sector. 5/10 up. Let's jump on board with him.
He's got a little bit of lap traffic in front as well. Kevin Miller gets out of the way. You know, these guys that are on their hot laps are at that 100% turbo. The guys on the out lap, maybe not so much. That closing speed is just ridiculous. And Moses will be foiled yet again here from his best lap possible.
Yeah, he's back on. I jumped over to Houston real quick as he was on a flyer, but he made a big mistake. But that exit of Variante Alta, very tricky to put the power down once you get into that green, I guess carpet or whatever it is. Not much grip out there.
Yeah, well, one thing you don't want to do is spool up the turbo at the same time. You're accelerating on any green portions of the track, no question about that.
Moses crosses the line to provisional pole with a 24.5. Bride, he is on a flyer. He's 2/10 off in the first sector. Really nice camera shots around here. This is my favorite one right there. Is showing cars entering the first part of Variante. I'm sorry, Aqua Minerale. It's up and through there. It's great. Kirkbride looks like he's up in Sector 2, so this is his final sector. Should he nail it, he could jump up into provisional pole.
Yeah, and still ahead of his time according to the performance delta. So this lap actually could be all the way. Well, he'll have a chance to nip Moses here provisionally.
He does not exit there out of the final corner. A little sketchy. Canola. He's gone green through Sector 2, so Canola. Looks like he's found his legs here in this car, Brad.
Yeah, and as the season goes on, if he does commit to the rest of the season and making all the events, that will only continue as the season wears on. I don't think this guy's gotten hardly any set of course laps at all.
But he's jumped up to provisional pole with the 24.4. Great lap from Tiago. So,
not what looked like he was going to run 2 timed laps.
Yep, not what these guys want to see. Ooh, Kirkbride getting it wrong. These guys really pushing the envelope here as Aaron Parsons now currently in 5th. Keep in mind, Parsons carrying 35 kilograms of success ballast after he finished on the podium at the opening round and last week at Aref. Winning that race. Lost a bunch of time there in the final sector. Greg Myers in the pits. Lemansky down to 8th. Peter Burke actually up in 7th, so he's looking pretty good. Kevin Miller provisionally right now in the 9th position on an outlap. Matt Taylor, he's carrying 25 kilograms of success ballast, and he is kind of languishing back there in the field behind Parsons, who's carrying 10 more than he is. He's yet to lay down a good lap. Brian Story up to 11th. Sean Watson running in the 12th position. Ryan Robbins Chris Chandler really had a tough race last week at Ref, looking to bounce back here tonight, currently 15th. Chuck Carter back in 16th. Jack Ivey, as Chris Moses now sets the provisional pole with a 23.6. So improves on his practice time. Mike Monahan, 18th. Dale Baldwick, currently in the pits at 19th. Tom Trask running in 20th. Buddy in with a no call. David Rowley is currently in 23rd. And Gub Douglas is yet to set a time here in this session. So Moses, there you have it. Coming out of the pit lane, currently leading this session.
Yeah, you know, one thing about this track that makes it so good really is that these drivers have, particularly the experienced guys that have been around for a while, so many laps at this track. Regardless, look, we run it over the course of like 4 different sims, right? But nonetheless, very experienced in all of its iterations. That's what makes these grids typically so tight and the racing so good.
Houston currently in 5th. He is off in the second sector, 1.2 seconds. His teammate, though, just 2/10 off after sector 1. He's got a bevy of traffic up ahead of him. Parsons makes his way. Variante Alta.
I think that's exactly what some of these guys are running into that haven't improved their times yet. They're having trouble getting laps in, and so we've run about half of this qualifying session off the clock already.
Ooh, and Moses blocking Parsons there.
Yeah, Parsons, he'll have some words for. He's still improved, but he'll have some words for Moses after this race.
He did improve, but that was not what he wanted to have happen there. As Canola now improves on his time, he runs a 24.417. Still second. Chris Moses now is disconnected from the server, so he'll maintain that time as long as he gets back in. Andrew Adamson just 2/10 off through the first sector. Jump on board with Adamson.
Yeah, and looking at some of Adamson's times over the course of the week, I would say that this is more toward his better pace. He did not seem to be running quite as strong here as he did the first couple rounds. But we'll see if he gets something figured out here in qualifying. Maybe he can make some inroads into those top times.
Around there in sector 2. So Brad, I know you ran some laps around here. Did you run it? I assume these guys are able to run full turbo for a lap around this place without.
Sure, they'll be able to. Yeah, they'll be able to get 1 lap in. I don't know about 2.
Adamson does not improve. Remains in 4th. Ooh, there's one of the Ferraris takes it off. Exit in the pit lane. Kevin Miller remains in 10th. A lot of guys on outlaps presently. Matt Taylor, he's on a flyer, 5/10 off in the first sector. Brad, I wonder what's going on here with Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, he put up some practice times that were pretty decent. But you know, he and Chris Moses, they do run different setups. I mean, they share obviously things that work in general, but specific setup stuff, they run different deals. So could be that Taylor has missed it.
So Parsons balked again here as he has an incident with car on his outlap. I don't understand that, but Moses makes his way back into the server. Imola maintains that second spot. We got just over 10 minutes to go in this session. And not much going on presently out on track. A lot of guys exiting the pit lane. A lot of guys making mistakes. A lot of guys smashing into each other. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm a little surprised Canola's held on to this second spot. I mean, look, it's a good 8/10 off of that 23.6. Now that's a very stout time by Chris Moses, but we would think, yeah, the likes of Parsons, Houston, like you say, is looking very strong. Actually, Greg Myers wasn't looking too bad either, so I would have expected some guys to make inroads. But if you're Canola, you're figuring, okay, well, great, I'll take it as long as I can get it.
Myers makes his way to the line, and he looks like he did improve his time. So he is jumped up to 7th. Sam Rolfs made it in. He's currently back in 24th. Peter Berg finally making his way back out of the pit lane to do a lap. He's been sitting in that 8th spot for quite some time. Lemansky on an out lap. Mike Monahan. He gets it all wrong. Oh, looks like he was getting out of the way of somebody. That was Matt Taylor. Taylor remains in 11th. Ryan Robbins, he's on a flyer here. He's 1.1 off. Makes his way towards Variante Alta. Let's just hope that it's just the nature of the qualifying session that we're seeing all these people making mistakes. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the race if it looks like this session so far. But Canola is currently, as Adamson now jumps up to 2nd with a 24.4. Canola up in the first sector.
Yeah, and actually up pretty good. I mean, very close to that. Whoa. Yeah, he backs out of it. Is the nature of qualifying. Look, you have to challenge the boost pressure to run that smoking lap, okay? And so that's the deal. You have to challenge it, and you kind of in some spots have to hope the car is just going to stick, and you know, sometimes it doesn't. But this track, much different than we saw last week at Jerez. Last week was a truly dangerous track. This one, yeah, dangerous, but actually much more manageable.
So Kirkbride's looking quick here. This could move him up to 2nd. It does with a 23.9. So very nice lap for Kirkbride. Bumping his teammate down a spot. Adamson to 3rd. Canola, your running order in 4th. Parsons up to 5th. Remarkable thing about this lap time for Parsons, I don't know if he's just lucking out here based on the other guys not able to lay down a quality lap, but he's carrying all this weight and he is still hanging on to that top 5 starting position. So it's boding well for him so far. Peter Burke, meanwhile, he was just a second off in the 2nd sector, but he flipped to him and he was in the wall.
Yeah, quickly back to Aaron Parsons. Look, this is where championships are won or lost, and you know, 35 kilograms on the car, so that's the most we've seen. We don't know what that effect is going to be yet. So Parsons is going to be a bit of a benchmark tonight, and how that weight's going to affect these cars.
And once again, Parsons coming up on lap traffic.
Moses out again. What's going on there?
Not sure. But these guys, you know, we talked about it briefly last week when in this session. These guys on out laps, not on the turbo, and coming up, guys coming up on them using full turbo, carrying a tremendous amount of speed. Like I said, it's really hard to gauge who's coming up on you. So some of these guys,
Parsons looking a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Struggling a little bit with that. So Parsons, wow, up to third. Amazing. So Parsons able to manage that weight, unlike Taylor, who is currently in the pits with 5 minutes to go. Adamson only down 1/10. Now Houston betters his time. He is with a 24-3. Adamson a 10th off in the first sector. Ooh, big bobble there for Adamson. Let's see how much that costs him.
Well, it took until about 5 minutes to go here in qualifying for them to find their pace, but they have finally they finally have found some. Huh? What happened?
No, nothing. I didn't hear anything. Parsons on an outlap. Houston, let's see. Lemansky, he's only 7/10 off in the first sector. Kevin, through around. A lot of guys struggling. Amazing. Kirkbride now looking good through the first sector, was behind a 10.
Yeah, I'd
lock
say
up
that
into
he
the chicane. Sorry, go ahead.
I think he might have found a little something here in qualifying. I think he made some adjustments because he does look much sharper than he did early on in this qualifying session. So I think a few quick changes have helped him out.
As Kirkbride makes his way down the start-finish line. He improves his time, but not good enough to take pole. He's 3/10 off. The leader, Moses, looks like has just started another attempt here to improve on his already session best time.
Yeah, odd he's had those couple disconnects. You wonder if he's having some controller issues or something. He's having to do some recalibration, what have you, whatnot. But hopefully, whatever's plaguing him there doesn't pop up in the rate.
Miller sets his personal best with a 25-3. Moses up in the first sector. Parsons down 2/10 in sector 1. Those two right behind one another on track. Oh, looks like Moses has tossed it off track. Parsons now only 4/10 off in sector 2.
Yeah, gave up 3/10 in the last sector on his last lap. See if he can improve on that.
Canola might.
Terribly great exit.
And he improves, but improves on his time, but not good enough. Canola only a 10th off in the first sector. He can keep this together here. He's got an opportunity to jump up into the front row. Looking really good.
Less than 2/10. Yeah, he's less than 2/10 to jump like 3 spots.
Yep. Yep. That's frustrating. So it looks like he's going to have to settle for 6th at the moment. Yep, he's not going to have enough time to get back out there. Let's see, Monroy, he is, not Monroy, Monahan, he is way off the pace there in the first sector. Kirkbride even through the first split.
Boy, you have to be encouraged if you're Kevin Kirkbride right now. To some extent, Aaron Parsons and John Houston as well there in 3rd and 4th. Things were looking kind of bleak at the beginning of this session, but things have tightened up considerably.
Kirkbride coming up on some lap traffic. He backs out of it.
Well, if he has enough fuel, he may have enough time to get to the stripe again.
Yeah, he was trying to give himself a little bit of space there. I don't know if he's going to get across the line in time. He might. Houston 3/10 off in Sector 1. Kevin Miller's now jumped up to 7th, so he's finally put in a decent lap. Moses up in the first sector. And, yep, Kirkbride's going to be able to squeeze one in here.
Yeah, 3 laps really on the qualifying tires. I'm not sure. Guess we'll find out. No.
Ooh, Moses up in Sector 2 and got it all wrong. He touched a little bit of the outside grass there, so he's going to have to back out of it. Oh, looks like Kirkbride's parked it. Parsons done. Houston to the line, and he improves. Jumps up to 3rd right there in front of his teammate right on the last lap. So good time there for...
Wow.
Good job there from Houston with a 24 flat. Actually improved his practice time. Well done, Houston. Oh, it's going to be Chris Moses with pole here for this evening at Imola. Let's be honest, it's a track he has done very well at throughout the years, and it's rare that you don't see him up either winning or near the front at this track. In fact, last time we raced here in the open wheels on Monday nights was, well, just over a year ago, 3:27.16 in the Formula Masters. Chris Moses winning that race, I believe. Let's look at the results here. But Chris Moses with the lap record, but he just reset that here tonight. But yeah, Moses did win that race. 31 laps. Parsons finished 2nd. So that was that validates my point. He's good here, Barney.
Yes, indeed. And he has been a piece of the epic battle puzzles that we've had over the course of years here. He's figured into many of those battles, and I don't see any reason why that's not going to play out again here tonight. The qualifying pace is one thing. The race is something else altogether. It doesn't look like that Aaron Parsons' weight did have a tremendous amount of effect. You know, he mentioned last week when you asked him about having the 35 kilograms, he said, well, look, the car's got tons of grip, it's got lots of power, so you wouldn't think necessarily that the weight would be that big a deal, and maybe we're seeing some of that, so it could be setting up for another epic Moses Parsons Imola battle, but I guess Kirkbride and John Houston have yet something to say about that as this race unfolds too.
So we have a little bit of a break here before we go green here from Imola. Got just under 5 minutes to go before we go green, and let's take you down the point standings here on Monday nights briefly. After 2 rounds, it's Parsons, who won last week at Jerez, currently on top early in the season with 45 points. Teammates Matt Taylor and Chris Moses both tied with 39. Well, Moses with that bonus point, he's just jumped up to 40. Adamson in 3rd with 35. John Houston in 4th with 30. And Peter Burke down there in 5th with 19. In the team championship, it's Precision Motor Racing's Taylor and Moses with 78 points. T-Brock Dan Bam not letting PMR run away with it just yet. They are in 2nd. That's Parsons and Houston with 75 points. Rowdy Burns Racing's team, excuse me, they Andrew Adamson and Kevin Kirkbride, they have 52 points, and they've promised to get that racecraft together here starting tonight, and look for both those guys to finish well there. Mount an attack there on the leaders of that championship. KT Racing, that is Tiago Canola and Kevin Lemansky. They are in 4th with 25. And the taxi service, Sam Rolfe and Greg Myers, they are 5th with 20, Brad.
Yeah, well, despite Only a 10th place start for Greg Myers. It was a good early posting of that time, but he did not better that time, so Greg Myers only starting 10th. But I'm looking down that list a little bit in the team classification. I like that KT Racing a little bit more and more each week of that Thiago Canola and Kevin Lemansky. Kevin Lemansky, he's shown us the pace in that team. The results sometimes a little iffy, right? So I think, if he and Thiago Canola really get together on some setup work, getting some, some strategies together and these types of things, I kind of like KT Racing to advance, kind of up that list in the team classification. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe some dark horse picks back there, but in any event, it's going to be a great race tonight. I can't hardly wait.
Well, it's nice to see Thiago Canola coming around here after these first 2 rounds. And it's good. It's good for KT Racing to see him do well. But talk tonight's going to be strategy, Brad. I know some guys talking about maybe doing a one-stopper on the sauce, but we've seen so far that the 2-stop strategy has held out. But I did talk to Moses before tonight, and he was contemplating doing a one-stopper for this race. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Closer than it has been the first couple rounds on tires, yeah.
All right, so we got a minute, just over a minute and a half here before we go live. Before we go green, let's run down the starting order, Brad. What do you say?
Yep.
It's going to be from pole, Chris Moses starting first. Behind him, I don't understand why I can't get this right, but anyway. Behind him, it's going to be Kevin Kirkbride starting second. John Houston's going to start third. Aaron Parsons in fourth. Andrew Adamson is going to be starting in the 5th position.
Yeah, Thiago Canola takes 6th. Matt Taylor starts back in 7th, a little bit back there. Kevin Miller takes 8th. Peter Burke is in 9th, and Gregory Myers starts 10th.
Nice start there for Peter Burke. Kevin Lemansky is going to be starting in the 11th spot. Jake Feemster in 12th. John Watton in 13th. Ryan Robbins is going to start 14th. And Monahan is going to start 15th.
Well, Brian Story takes over 16th. Sam Rolfe starts 17th. Jack Ivey in 18th. Curtis Chandler takes 19th. Chuck Carter's in 20th.
Dale Ballweg's going to start 21st. Tom Traskell 22nd. Dave Rowley's going to start 23rd. Marty Uren in 24th. Gup Douglas is going to start in 24th, and Joel, I forget his last name because he's using something else, he's going to be starting from the back, newcomer. All right, Brad, we're about to go green from Imola. Lights are off, and away we go. It's going to be Chris Moses leading the field here. Kirkbride with a dodgy start there. Kind of got Parsons a little uncomfortable, but this opening lap here through. Ooh, we got one car off. It looks like one of the Minardi's, either Monahan or Feemster. Ooh, it looks like Robbins. That might have been Robbins and. Yeah, it is Robbins and Feemster falling way back, so those two got into it here early, Brad.
Jack Ivey.
Jack Ivey.
Jack Ivey as well.
3rd race in a row for Jack.
Hang in there, Jack. Get it fixed. Oh boy, disaster.
Yeah, last couple races to start the season actually been very clean in these cars, but not so tonight. I kind of had a feeling that this first corner has a tendency to do that. Meanwhile, Moses has already rocketed away here with a nearly 2-second lead over Kirkbride to start this race. Behind him it's Houston, teammates Houston and Parsons trying to chase
Adamson
Moses
threw
down.
it off. Big damage.
Oh yeah, Adamson's got significant damage. The nose cone is on that. Oh, we got several cars coming into the pits. Adamson's going to stay out, but that front end is all deformed here. Rally has jumped up to 14th. Coming up alongside Dale Ballweg into turn 1. Always going to hang on to that position.
Peter Burke had to stop for damage as well, so that's really unfortunate. Starting up there in the 8th spot, so a lot of work to do for Peter Burke.
Houston threw it off. He is falling back down to 6th, and Kevin Miller has just made his way around. So Kevin Miller, you saw what happened last week at Jerez. It was Kevin Miller and John Houston duking it out for most of the race, and that was a great battle. Meanwhile, Canola has worked his way up. Oh, Parsons is off. He spun it. Oh! Hit the chicane, so big mistake there from Parsons. He's going to slip all the way back to, it looks like, possibly 10th here. Canola up to 3rd.
Wow, these guys are just overdriving at the moment. Holy cow, just calm down out there, fellas. Long race here.
Hansky up to 7th. Greg Myers all over the back of him. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
Myers looking to make his way past Lemansky into turn 1. Greg. Wow. Gets it done. Nice job from Greg.
Well, Greg's been looking sharp all week. I tell you, there's such a tremendous difference between the qualifying tires and the cold, soft tires and the heavy fuel load cars.
Now the mistake from
Houston takes it off
now
again.
The mistake.
The cars are just completely different. You have to burn off a good 40, 50 liters from the cars to really start coming back, to start feeling like they're really going, you know, and it's really catching these guys out big time.
Rally is
shocking.
Rally is out as Sam Rolfe now has jumped up to 11th.
Rolfe started back in the back of the back. Holy cow! Nice run up for Sam.
Meanwhile, big beneficiary for all this has been Matt Taylor, who is now up into 4th and trying to chase down Tiago Canola. Meanwhile, you got a train of cars here behind Lemansky. It's Lemansky, Parsons, and Greg Myers. Ooh, Greg must have had a mistake after he got past Lemansky. On board with Parsons.
These guys, they just got to let the cars come to them, you know. You just have to take whatever you can get and kind of go, okay, well that's good enough. The car will come to you, but you got to let it.
Parsons gets past. Myers back there in 8th. Kevin Miller now up to 5th, Brad. Moses is up to, he's got 3.5 seconds up over Kirkbride. Looks like Adamson's hanging on to it after that front end damage. He's managing to get the car around here in 9th, so could be worse here for Adamson, but doing a good job considering the damage.
Yeah, so 41 laps, so what? I mean, we're looking at lap 12 or 13 thereabouts coming in if they want to go ahead and try that 2-stopper. So not too many more laps to try to stick it out, but man, it must be frustrating. You know he's not able to get the most out of that 98T.
Taylor as he tries to chase down Canola. Canola with better exit there out of all the Lemansky and Myers. They just continue to go duke it out here early on in this race. It's 4 laps in.
I have to say I'm really impressed with Myers' pace.
Big slide from Lemansky.
Obviously did have that mistake that allowed a couple positions to sneak back through. Nonetheless, looking pretty racy here tonight.
Lemansky and Myers side by side. Entering turn 1, and Greg gets it done again at the same spot. Lemansky looking to counter.
Well, here's your JT Racing right here. Kevin Lemansky started back there in 11th has picked up spots from there, and of course teammate Chow Canola up there in 3rd. These guys are looking sharp here tonight.
Battle, a couple positions back. Watson and Houston going at it as Houston just makes the pass on John Watson, so Watson falls back to 11th.
Yeah, Houston desperate to recover some ground here that he has lost primarily through his own mistakes, as far as I've seen. Now we're starting to get now where the cars are going to start to come in a little bit. Moses just now dipped into 27, and we're going to start. Watson off at Variante Alta.
That makes a mistake, as Adamson now starting to put the pressure down. He's driving a wounded Lotus, but starting to put the pressure on Lemansky here down the straight. Lemansky doesn't seem to be careful. Lemansky defends. He's going to hang on to that spot. Lemansky looks like he's lacking a bit of straight line speed, Brett. Either that or the guys are on the turbo.
You have to assume Adamson was probably on the turbo there a little bit, but Lemansky could just be playing it cool, going, look, hey, I'm in 8th place, and we've got another 33 laps to run here. I think I'll go ahead and play it cool here and try not to damage myself. That way of thinking, by the way, has moved him up to the 8th spot, so yeah, it's working for him.
For the back, Thiago Canola, he's maintaining that 3rd spot. He's got Matt Taylor about a couple seconds off. Our leader, Chris Moses, holder of the best lap of the race, 27.4, a full second quicker than anybody else on track on the softs, and carrying 10 kilograms of success ballast. So good start to this race for Moses. Kirkbride just set his personal best, 27.8, so he's picked up the pace here, trying to reel Moses in early in this race here.
Yeah, again, so
what a
Adamson.
Yep, Adamson now trying to, a three-way battle here. Gonna go 3 wide into 1. Oh wow, Adamson makes his way around both of those guys.
Myers playing it tough. He's not going to give up that 8th spot so easily.
Wow, unbelievable. Risky move there for Adamson, taking it 3 abreast going into 1. That corner, that straight kind of kinks to the left a little bit, so it kind of makes it tough there, guys. Got to set up wide going into that corner. A lot of bad things can happen. Yep, feel for you, Gup. Gup Douglas chiming in. Ugly start to this one, but things look like to have settled down a bit here, as the guys are really driving over their heads a little bit. But John Houston has worked his way up to this battle between Lemansky, Myers, and Adamson. Adamson is actually starting to pull away. Now, Kirkbride sets fast lap of the race with a 27.3.
Yeah, he sure does, and he's going to have to use some very controlled aggression here if he wants to get up to Moses. I think Moses has a little bit in reserve, and boy, he's starting to feel good. The tires are working, the car's starting to work, he's starting to get rolling, but got to be careful. Don't want to build that boost pressure too quickly. The story of the rest of the way here before our stops, whether they be 1 or 2, is really going to be some of the guys trying to come through the field that ran into trouble. See Adamson picking up some positions. Parsons got put back a little bit. John Houston's back there. So Peter Burke is back there working his way through traffic. So we're going to see a story of these guys really trying to make some inroads to the cars in front of them until they get to their stops.
Houston all over the back of Greg Myers, made short work of Lemansky. Houston's got very good pace, qualified 3rd, made a couple mistakes, is falling back in the field, currently in 9th, but trying to pick up some positions here as Greg Myers will be his next target.
Yeah, I thought there in that three-way battle that Greg Myers might go ahead and give a little lift and let Houston through as well, but decided to hold firm and made that pass work, that position defense there on the outside. So a little aggression here from Greg Myers. I like it.
Parsons trying to reel in Kevin Miller running it fifth. Meanwhile, John Houston, swings out wide to try and take that spot away from Greg. Looks like he's going to get it done pretty easily. Notice these guys trying to stay off these sausage curbs there through turns 1 and really upset these cars.
Yeah, particularly there in that first chicane, it's pretty rough, no question.
A little further back, we have a nice little battle brewing here between Jake Feemster and Sam Rolfe. Current advantage goes to Feemster. He is running in the 11th spot.
Yeah, this was a battle I'm sorry, Al, this was a battle I was watching because Sam Rolfe actually has gotten some practice in, obviously. He has pretty decent pace, and he started about dead last, so running very well here.
Yeah, he is, but meanwhile... Well, last week it was Houston trying to make his way around Kevin Miller. This week it's Houston's teammate, Parsons, but... As these two go side by side down the straight, looks like Parsons gonna make the pass here. So Parsons looks like he engaged that turbo and made short work of Kevin Miller. Miller sounds like he threw it off. He did. Looks like he kept it off the wall, but gotta be careful getting back on the throttle. Looks like Adamson's gonna be able to make his way past. No. Miller is going to hang on to that spot for the time being.
Yeah, quickly back to Aaron Parsons. I suppose right now to be running 5th, you're not feeling too bad after making that mistake or whatever happened. To put him back into positions, he has made a nice run back up, runs 20 seconds off that leader Chris Moses, but could have been a lot worse at this point if you're Aaron Parsons.
Meanwhile, out front, Chris Moses hanging on to a right now 4.5 second lead over Kevin Kirkbride. That gap really hasn't changed too much. It's been pretty static there at around between 3 and 4 seconds. So Kirkbride doing a good job maintaining his pace. But Miller has got Adamson all over the back.
Well, I mean, you have to say it's a pretty impressive run back up for Adamson too. I mean, I'm on board with them, and that windscreen's shattered, so obviously that's some pretty heavy damage to the front. Again, if it's, let's see, he sets up fast.
Setting up on the outside into turn 1, and cutting it close there, but Adamson gets the pass made. Miller looking to respond here. Ooh, they might have touched wheels, Brad. Houston. John Houston trying to take advantage of that situation as well. I think he kind of would have been best served if he let off there, but he tried to power through that and pick up an extra spot and got the worst end of that. So these guys on the 2 stops, that window's going to be opening up soon, Brad.
Yeah, if they do. I mean, we still aren't really sure. Of course, there's some guys out there who would like a pit stop to fix some damage. But, yeah, we're not sure if that was a standard strategy or not. We'll know here in just a couple 3 laps.
Ryan Robbins and Peter Burke going at it here. I think Peter Burke got caught up in that first lap incident. Qualified well, but finds himself back in 14th. Yeah,
his lap times, I would suggest, not quite on song to what he would have expected to be running, but He is running quite a bit faster than many of the positions around him, so he'll have the opportunity yet to make up some ground.
Moses already coming up on some lap traffic. Canola, meanwhile, running in third, 12 seconds off the leader. He has extended his lead over Taylor, so that was at one point early in the stint, around 2 seconds, but it's grown to about nearly 5 seconds here.
Yeah, and Moses quickly has put a few more seconds between himself and Kevin Kirkbride. Last I looked, it was about 4.5 seconds. So, boy, you have to be breathing a big sigh of relief if you're Chris Moses right now. The guys that might have been able to challenge him have really kind of fallen off the deep end here, and he has had a pretty easy run of it so far.
Let's do a quick rundown here before these guys start diving into the pits. We got Chris Moses leading now 7 seconds up over Kirkbride, so something must have happened to Kirkbride. Might have got hung up in some traffic there, lost some time to Moses. Thiago Canola running in third. Matt Taylor in fourth. Aaron Parsons now running in fifth. As Canola just sets his personal best in the 20 seconds. Kevin Miller. Ooh, Miller just tossed it off, and Adamson went by. Just picked that up. Miller's going to fall down at ninth, so it's Adamson in sixth, Myers seventh, Lemansky picks up the spot up to eighth. Saw Miller go off ninth. He's about to drop down to 10th, it looks like, as soon as Houston gets past. So now Houston up to ninth, Miller down to 10, so Miller losing several spots there because of that off. Jake Feemster running in 11th. Ryan Robbins in 12th. Peter Burke running in 13th, trying to reel in Robbins. Sam Rolfe running in 14th. Behind him is Jack Ivey in 15th. Chuck Carter running in 16th. Curtis Chandler in 17th, one spot out of the points. Bill Ballweg in 18th. Marty Uren in 19th. This actually got past Ballweg, so Marty up to 18th, Ballweg 19th, Parsons, I'm sorry, this is Joel, I don't know his last name, but just signed up this week. He is in 20th, John Watson in 21st, Brian Story running in 22nd, and Traskell is 23rd, 3 laps down. So it looks like Moses is in the pits, Brad. Kirkbride has stayed out.
Wow, that is news, but wait, what's this? Wathan's still out there? Wathan's still on track? He's made it 14 laps?
He has. Good on you, Wathan.
Nice job.
So Moses is going to rejoin, looks like, in 7th. Moses the first to act here. Let's see anybody. Oh, Adamson is in, so Adamson has he dove in. Houston is in. So these guys getting service. These guys were really close actually before these stops happened here. Let's see who's going to get away first. Adamson is away. Long stop for Houston.
Yeah, well, boy, if you're Kirkbride or Canola now, you have some things to think about with Moses jumping in early like that. And okay, well, Kirkbride is in.
Ooh, he's in hard on the brakes. He had looks like Chandler came in just ahead of him, so Kirkbride had to check up a little bit before entering. So Canola dives in, as does Taylor.
Yeah.
So the pits are very busy now.
Yeah, two-stopper for just about everyone, it looks like. Interesting. I had talked with a couple guys also who thought it might be a one-stop strategy, but maybe in the heat of battle, they were starting to roast their tires, and 2 stops for the majority of the field.
Moses making his way down the straight as Kirkbride. He is away, but Moses is going to beat him out. Oh, yeah. By quite a bit. So Moses takes over the lead. Canola is away, so Canola is going to come out. Ooh, Taylor away. So it looks like
That is close.
That is very close. Taylor with a great stop beats Thiago Canola out of the pits from third.
Well, Thiago Canola is not used to running 2 stops, so maybe that threw him off somehow. Oh, and Parsons not far behind that battle now. Parsons has definitely picked up some time.
Yeah, so Lotus is going to be on Canola to get past Taylor here as quickly as possible. Taylor carrying that weight. Canola's probably going to be quicker down the straights. This guy's going to have to be a little cautious here in this opening lap coming out of the pits. Ooh, as Taylor takes it wide, that's the opening Canola needed. Yep, Canola takes that spot away into the chicane. Parsons right there as well. So nice overtake by Canola. Mistake being costly for Taylor.
That's it. You're exactly right. Canola didn't need to make the move quickly, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was going to be that easy. I thought he was going to be in for a rough ride with Taylor in front of him.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Meanwhile, Jack Ivy up to 9th. Miller makes his way past. Ivy's showing some signs of damage. Not sure. Did Ivy pit early, Brad, or has he stayed out?
I don't believe so. No, he stayed out. So he was one of the guys that I did talk with that planned on running a 1-stopper, and maybe he's the only non-liar in the group that I've spoken to so far.
Let's see. So no, it does not look like Ivy has pitting. So he is on a 1-stopper. So after stops, Moses up 13 seconds over Kirkbride.
Yeah, life is good if you're Chris Moses right now to be able to get out of the thick fray of action and kind of set the pace here.
Taylor doing his best here to try to hang on to the back of Canola, but it does not look like that's going to happen. We saw the first stint, Canola, these two were running fairly close, and Canola started to pull away there as the stint got later. But Parsons, meanwhile, has his sights set on Taylor. Parsons was quicker in qualifying. Whether that translates into race pace, let's see. Parsons best lap 28.2. About equal times there. 28.23 for Taylor, 28.27 for Parsons best lap.
Yeah, they were about the same time as shown so far, but if you're Aaron Parsons and you made that mistake early, it's very easy to get out of rhythm, right? I mean, as you know so well. Or anybody that makes a mistake, right? But you get a chance to hit the reset button, you come to the pits, and I suspect Aaron Parsons will have a much better stint, much better times, more consistent this tire stint.
Looks like Peter Burke is also on a 1-stop strategy. He is currently in 6th, has yet to stop. So look for him to come in around lap 20, 21, same for Ivy.
Yeah, absolutely right, and that's only another 3 or 4 laps here. Now these tires, when they go off, they're going to go off. So Peter Burke and Jack Ivy probably in for some anxious moments here toward the end of the stint, but if they manage to keep it on track, it could be a big boost for them making only that 1 stop.
Ryan Robbins looking to make a move on Joel. Oh! Robbins nearly gets into the back. That was a little hairy there.
Well, you know, if you're Joel...
Robbins makes the pass. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, well, if you're Joel right now, then you have to be thinking, shoot, at first race here, pretty stiff competition. He's up in the points as they run at the moment, so good showing.
Meanwhile, this battle for third is starting to heat up. So all three of these guys, Canola has yet to pull a gap over Taylor, and as they come up on some lap traffic of Curtis Chandler, tighten things up a little more. Chandler took some evasive action there to let these guys past. Wow, Parsons all over the back of Taylor.
Yeah, well, he knows that he could easily get held up here if he does have better pace than Matt Taylor. You can see Thiago Canola right up there. So you can see Thiago Canola getting away as he gets a little held up here by Matt Taylor. Parsons is very motivated to get past, I think, for that fourth position.
I think Parsons might have some pace on old Taylor here in this second stint, Brad.
I think so too.
Yep.
Yep.
Sam Rolfe now looking to make a move on Joel as these guys. Ooh, they got Kevin Kirkbride squeezed in between them. Kirkbride in second.
Yeah, just flipped over to that battle as well as just as Kirkbride was shooting through the speed differential can be pretty dramatic at times. I think Joel thought that he was
I think so.
traffic.
Yep. Just let Sam Rolfe by for Joel into the pits. So it looks like Joel might be on a one stop as well.
Yeah, I think so.
So he is in. Oh, Feemster is in as well. Meanwhile, Parsons still looking to make his way past Taylor. Ooh, Parsons made a little bit of a bobble there, Brad.
Yeah, I flipped over just when you did, and I don't know if you had to check up for a Taylor mistake in front or what, but boy, something happened.
Yeah, he had to check up abruptly there. Lost some time to to Tayller. So time to get back to work here for Parsons and try and real claw away at that gap. One of the
Kirkbride just
looks like that was Traskell that was off.
Kirkbride just had a really bad lap, had some mistake out there, and that has really narrowed the gap there to Thiago Canola. Thiago Canola kind of has him back in sight, so really those four cars, second to fifth, are pretty close on track.
Adamson now has caught back up to Burke, who is running in sixth. Burke on a one-stop strategy here.
Yeah, probably coming in this lap. Definitely want to avoid damage. Yeah, nicely done by both those drivers there. Adamson, of course, he really wants to get past quickly, but really a lot of discretion shown by both those guys. Good job.
That was very close. I'm not sure if they had contact there, but Adamson nearly getting into the back of Peter Burke. Brooks looks like he's going to stay out.
If I'm Peter Burke, I'm ready to get off those tires. Ooh, he's defending on the turbo though, is Peter Burke. I don't think he quite has the pace to match here. Whoa!
Oh, Adamson with a little bobble there gives that position back.
Well, sometimes, if you're running those alternate strategies, you have to sort of run your own race, and not get so caught up in the position battles. but Peter Berg right now, he's looking to stay pretty aggressive here on those worn tires. They have to be just fractured.
Amateur hour. Jump in one of these things, see how you do for an hour, and then report back.
It's a tough test because it's difficult enough to get them around, but these are long races. I mean, these are almost endurance events here, and it's such a difficult beast of a machine.
Burke doing a good job defending here. He is holding up Adamson. Adamson clearly has some pace over Burke.
Yeah, the problem is it's not really for position though.
Burke. Ooh, we thought about it. Yep, Adamson finally gets the pass made, so Adamson up to 6 now. 22 seconds behind Parsons in 5th. But still strong showing here for the Rowdy Burns Racing Team guys, as Kirkbride running in 2nd, Adamson in 6th. So it's going to be a good points night for those two. Meanwhile, Houston, here in Parsons' teammate, back there at 6th, Brad. Not sure what happened to him, but Miller's back out ahead of him by a pretty good margin, about 6 seconds.
Yeah, I thought Houston was, certainly a podium favorite tonight. Was looking very strong there in the week of practice, but yeah, the race, he just got out of sorts early on and has not been able to kind of settle down and recover fully from that. Positions yet to pick up. He certainly has guys that he has pace on, all the way up into 7th probably, but he's starting putting in some consistent laps if he wants to recover those positions.
Ivy into the pit lane, so he's getting serviced there. Lemansky back there in 14 should pick up a couple spots once Burke, we assume, has yet to pit. Does not look like he has pitted yet. He's really running it deep, right?
Yeah, and I would say too.
He's finally in.
You look at the lap. You look at the lap times. They're consistent, but boy, those tires they're so difficult. I mean, the car's tough enough to drive without worn tires.
Well, Parsons has picked up the pace here now within a second of Taylor, so Parsons definitely has pace over Taylor here. Parsons carrying 10 kilograms more of ballast. It's interesting. It looks like Parsons figured something out with the car and the weight in comparison to Taylor. Although he's running in 4th,
I don't think there's any question. I mean, we saw it in the qualifying period. I think Matt Taylor is a bit off of a setup that you can put the best use, right, for best pace. Yeah, and that happens. I mean, you're not going to have your best at each and every event. So I'd say he's managing pretty well, really, all things considered, Matt Taylor.
Guys should be coming in for their second stop within the next couple laps. Moses coming in at lap 13, I believe. Yep. 13, 14. Some of these. Looks like Kirkbride came in on 14. I guess most everybody came in around lap 14.
Yeah. Been really interested this stint once things settled out to see if Joe Canola could not grab some time there from third place to second place Kevin Kirkbride, but you know what? It just hasn't happened. Joe Canola running good laps, but just can't quite match that Kevin Kirkbride pace.
Miller and Houston, that gap is close. Looks like Houston just got, Miller looks like he's got some damage to the front of his car, so he might have made a mistake and allowed Houston past. Taylor, okay, here we go. Now Parsons gets a run on Matt Taylor as Taylor just sets his personal best lap of the race as Parsons is rocketing past him.
Yeah, far and away Parsons' best lap of the race there by over a second. So
I'm sorry, that was
obviously
Parsons who set the best lap. I thought it was Taylor.
Yeah, so obviously Parsons running a little bit better, and I'm sure the turbo aided him a little bit on that lap as well.
Yeah, he's quickly pulling away here from Taylor. Ooh, Lemansky in the pits, and he's parked it. He's done. I'm sorry, he was in the gravel, not the pits. I'm not sure what happened, but he is out.
Boy, it was looking like such a great night for Kevin Lemansky, too.
Saw him pop up. So, working lap 26. Okay, Kevin Miller in the pits, getting serviced. Moses still out on track. I'm guessing he's going to come in this lap with a neck. Kirkbride now with the outstanding 26.5.
Wow, that's a turbo-aided lap. But yeah, these cars, I just cannot describe, if you haven't driven a complete stint, how different the cars react and drive compared to having the full fuel on board, even with the worn tire. It's just completely different experience.
That's his personal best. He's still got a ways to go before he catches up to Matt Taylor up in 5th. Follow John Houston now as he's trying to close the gap here to Greg Myers, who's having an outstanding run here up to 7th. It's looking very comfortable out there, very composed.
Yeah, just came through with a 133 lap, which is basically his worst lap of the race. But other than that, yeah, I've been running solidly in the 29, so that pace is pretty damn good, really.
Chandler in the pits from 16th.
Yeah, attrition now starting to rear its ugly head. Didn't have too much there that first tire stint. Have run a few more off the board, unfortunately. 19 remaining in this event, so could be worse, but could be a little bit better.
See what these guys do if they dive into the pits. Myers and Houston both stay out.
So it was Peter Burke and Jack Ivey for sure that made the one stop. We'll see where they come out now in relation to everybody else who stops. And if that one stopper helped them out as much as they hoped.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far this season, I think Peter Burke has one stopped every race so far this season.
Ah, good catch. I did not catch that myself.
So far, we got 8 cars on the lead lap. That number has increased. He's still got a ways to go here before this one's over. But the first race we had 4 cars on the lead lap, and last week I think we might have had 6.
Well, it'd be a lot better if we didn't have that carnage on the opening laps around here.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are just kind of driving out of their skulls there for a couple laps.
We're coming up on some lap traffic here, both Houston and Myers. Both of them balked a little bit, but get by without incident. Taylor in the pits.
that is a good heated battle for 7th, and it's going to be Houston that blinks first.
Yep. Let's see. So Parsons remains out on track. Taylor in the pits. Adamson has jumped into the pit lane as well. Moses has yet to pit. Kirkbride has eaten away at that lead of Moses from 17 seconds down to 11. Moses' last 3 laps in the mid to high 28s. Kirkbride with an ugly entrance there. I think he did the same thing as last time. Moses now in. Kirkbride, meanwhile, running pretty well also. So, very fast lap, those 2 guys.
Yeah, well, whatever happened to Moses there happened that lap because, all his prior laps looked pretty clean. But you're absolutely right. That was a good 7 or 8 seconds. That denotes a spin or something on Moses' part.
Moses is away. Canola has jumped into the pit lane. Parsons in. So it's going to be as Kirkbride pulls out. Battle to watch here to see if Taylor comes past the pits ahead of Parsons. Parsons still in the pit lane getting serviced. Canola is away. Whoa, what a stop. Another slow stop for Tiago. He's going to come out behind Parsons.
Wow.
And where is Taylor in all this? Taylor is nowhere to be found. Greg Myers in the pits.
He's not coming.
Wow, really slow stop from Taylor. So he loses out big time on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, maybe Canola's having problems with that pit app. We've seen that pop up for some drivers before. Now I'm wondering if it didn't happen to Taylor again. You'll remember at Interlagos in our first event, Taylor got bit by that pit stop bug twice.
Yeah, it's a good point. Let's hope that didn't happen to him again here tonight. But looks like that was a very slow stop from Taylor. But is now Parsons up to 3rd ahead of Canola. Canola with a slow stop that puts him behind Parsons. Just want to take a look at Taylor's. So it was a 2:10. Yeah, he lost 5 seconds in that stop. As you know, that can be a boatload of time, but so after stops, Kirkbride now only, he's 13 seconds behind Moses in the lead, who has led from the green flag here tonight, having a very solid and consistent run.
Yeah, you have to say for everybody not named Moses, it's been the best run of the night if you're Kevin Kirkbride right now. They've obviously been having to deal with some traffic and some other things. It's been a lonely affair, but it's been a very consistent affair, and that's just what you want. Just what the doctor ordered really for Kevin Kirkbride. These guys have shown the pace, haven't put in all the top results that they'd like, and the 2nd place on the podium would do wonders for Kirkbride. But 11 more difficult laps to complete around this place, and the merest mistake from any of these guys, and it could easily be race over. So gotta stay focused.
This battle for 3rd is going to be probably the one to watch here as Canola. Canola's best lap was a 27.8. Parsons ran a 27.5. A couple laps before he pitted. Canola's going to have his hands full here to try and reel in Parsons. And once he does,
yeah, Canola
it'll be different trying to get past him.
Yeah, I've been looking at the Canola lap times, and they have definitely not been terribly great right until the end of his stints, and then he picks up some pretty good time right at the last couple 3 laps of the stints. But takes them a while to burn off that fuel and really get the car up to speed. But nonetheless, I mean, it's been a good race for Imola as well, relatively mistake-free. If you're Aaron Parsons, it's been a great race, considering that, in the second lap, he was there in 8th or 9th.
Watching John Houston here as he tries to once again get past Greg Myers. His battle was hot and heavy before Houston went into the pit lane for his second stop. Greg Myers has pitted and has come out ahead of Houston, and Greg doing a great job keeping Houston behind for the time being. Yep.
Oh!
Houston, he's done that a couple times in the same spot. He's carrying a little too much speed going in through there, and that's the result. So, that's a mistake Myers needed at this time.
I mean, yeah, he did, and I wonder if Houston didn't make some last-minute changes here or something. Maybe teammate Aaron Parsons said, "Hey, I'm doing this. Maybe you want to give it a shot," because he does look pretty out of sorts, I have to say, John Houston.
So Peter Berg running at 9th. One stopper. He is ahead of Kevin Miller, who is in 10th. Looks like he's starting to close in slightly on Peter Burke. Actually, these guys aren't too far off of John Houston up in 8th.
Yeah, if you're Peter Burke, I think you have a pretty good shot of holding on to a top 10 here, which would actually be a pretty good result. I think he would have been a little further up if he hadn't been messing with Adamson as much as he did. Lost some time there. But that'd be pretty good on the one-stop strategy.
All right, Imola within a second of Parsons. Under a second.
He's hanging in.
Yeah, he certainly has got some lap traffic up ahead. Newcomer Joel.
He's been very careful around traffic, as Joel, so I don't think it'll be I think maybe you were thinking.
Go ahead, sorry.
I think maybe you were thinking, but I was thinking certainly that Canola would have a tough time here with Parsons, but
Canola on the outside, looking to get past. Nice. Oh, a little bobble, gives it back. Just like that. All that work with 8 laps to go. Or 7.5.
He's missing some of his. He's missing some of that turbo. You'd like to have those that 80 or 90% turbo back.
Yeah, we saw a couple guys blow their engines. I know Kirkbride blew his engine at Interlagos right on the last lap just before he crossed the line. He actually didn't make the start-finish line. The car came to a halt right before the start-finish. These guys late in this race going to have to be a little careful here, depending how much of the turbo they've used up to this point.
Yeah, and you know what? We're not too far away from those stops, actually. Once again, it takes a good 4, 5, 6 laps for the cars to really burn off some fuel and for them to really start working as well as you remember from practice. So they're just now getting to that point.
Kevin Miller now starting to really close up on Peter Burke here for 9th. Chris Moses there, not far off of these guys. Looking. These guys may have to check up a little bit to let Moses pass. I think if this was a little bit later in the race, Moses would just settle in, just looking at the gap. It's still 7 laps to go here. It's going to be, he may, he's got 15,
no,
really
it's too many laps.
Seconds, yeah.
No, I mean, because it is so easy to make a mistake, and you can't take a chance, even if you, Chris Moses, haven't made a mistake yet. Well, actually, I think he did make one, but no, that 16 seconds becomes 8 with like one tiny mistake, and you do it again, and there you go, race.
Oh, there you have it. Kevin Miller gets into the sun.
And
And Moses has to take evasive action. Wow. Oh, a little. Miller lets Burke past. Yeah, that was an ambitious move there from Kevin Miller on Burke, but Burke has been running quietly, doing his thing, his little strategy, and he's got torpedoed there going into one.
Yeah, unfortunate. I don't know if there's like heavy contact there, or if they're going to be okay in terms of damage. I mean, they look relatively okay. So
Closest battle on the track currently, Canola and Parsons. Canola has closed up the gap a little more here. Hey, you just know he would love to finish on the podium here tonight after being away so long.
yeah, Canola's he's a fighter. I mean, it's hard to say how things may or may not change for him here in Assetto Corsa, but
Yeah, it's a little background on these guys. Parsons, he's been around for all of about 10. He's been here 10 years since we started racing with us, and has won countless championships. Canola came in and when we ran GTR2, what would you say, like 5 or 6 years ago or so. And
they're about.
man, just native of Brazil. I think he lives in the States now, but at the time he was in Brazil. Him and his teammate, another guy from Brazil, Bruno said. These two came and just, man, they were lights out. Canola winning the championship in the GT2 class. Guy was great. Very smooth driver. It's nice to see him back and battling for podiums.
Yeah,
and
as
potentially wins down the road here if he keeps it up.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see, and as a guy who's holds those very consistent, dear to his heart, Thiago Canola, just the most consistent guy you've ever seen, just next level.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing watching him run, just on board watching him just, as Moses sets fast lap of the race, resets it, but just so incredibly smooth, it was crazy. But even like the fast guys would say it, like yourself, Moses, Aaron, just couldn't get over how smooth he drove. Great driver. But
well, yeah, no slouch in Aaron Parsons too, right? So
we're on board with Canola.
yeah, Thiago just not able to get on the power. That's really where he's having his difficulties. He would like a little bit more exit velocity, but just cannot quite get the power down as that turbo is building boost pressure. I think, strangely enough, I think he may have Parsons' measure in terms of handling, and maybe that 35 kilos is the difference here. But
a little further back, Rick Myers, Houston has caught up to Myers after his mistake. Closing laps here. Houston's he's gonna try and get past Myers, but easier said than done here for Houston, as another little bobble there, kicking up some dirt. Let's see, he takes it wide into the gravel, just pushing too hard there. Oh!
no!
Oh, noses it into the wall. I'm telling you. Get it off into that dirt and gravel. It's a nightmare trying to put the power back down. So we've cursed Houston about 4 or 5 times tonight. I'm sure he was running beautifully up until that point.
Once is a curse. 4 or 5 times. That's not on us anymore. Houston just a bit out of sorts. I really do think that he tried some late-minute changes here to his setup, and he wasn't prepared for it.
That could be it. I think you're right. It's that one section right there that's killing him every lap. Every time we've seen him, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it is Moses. Not much airtime for Chris, who's leading, as Parsons, Canola in this Parsons duel, heating up again there. He went red there within a second. But Moses, not much airtime for him. That's what happens when you check out one of these races. We go where the action is, Brad.
Always, Al. Like moss to a flame.
Moses here running with a couple laps to go before this one's in the books. Kirkbride running solidly in second. Certainly his best run of the season. And this Parsons Canola, this is for your final podium position. Taylor has fallen back here. He's 7 seconds off of this battle, and Adamson in 6. It's gonna, like I said earlier, it's shaping up to be a good night for Rowdy Burns Racing Team as well as PMR. Looks like Team Rock Dam Bam's going to be the team to lose out here tonight in that points championship. Going to drop several points here at Team PMR.
Yeah, well, if Houston can't hang on to 8th, it's not going to be hugely disastrous. But you're absolutely right, and boy, with these 3 teams really separating themselves, I mean, any point by the end of the season could make the difference. So they are important spots, no doubt about it. Canola would be in shouting distance if not for the roar of these turbo-backed engines. But 1 lap to go here. Don't know if he's going to be able to get it done at this point.
Yeah, he had a 29 2 laps ago. Made a little bit of a mistake. And that's the gap as a result of that. I got some lap traffic coming up here, so this could potentially tighten up. There's several cars ahead of Parsons there, and these guys, that's Peter Burke and Kevin Miller. They're fighting for position here. Tom Traskell in the mix.
It's never easy. Nice job, Traskell.
Let these guys by. Joel and Curtis Chandler having a late race tussle there. That's for 15th. Parsons has Kevin Miller up ahead. Miller lets Canola by. Nice job, both those guys there. But that's given Peter Burke plenty of breathing room here, as Miller was pretty close to them. Miller was pretty close to Burke there before the lap cars went past. Meanwhile, up front, Chris Moses is on the final lap here as Chandler and Joel going at it. Oh, as they both have some contact going into Aqua Minerale. Oh, easy guys. That gap doesn't look like it's going to shrink there for Canola. It's going to be tough for him to make up that time. This is running very wide there. Exiting Aqua Minerale. for the last time. This is going to be Moses' second win of the season. The one at Lagos.
Yep, sure did.
And he's going to take the win here at Imola. Dominating fashion. Great win from Moses. Kirkbride going to come home in second. Imola closed up slightly there on Parsons. There's Kirkbride taking the checkers here in second. Parsons is going to hang on to that final podium position. Going to take third. Great battle there with Tiago for fourth. Taylor's going to come home in fifth. Andrew Adamson going to bring it home here in sixth. Great job. Greg Myers going to come home on the lead lap here in seventh. Houston's done. Couldn't mount any comeback after that off on Myers. So earlier while trying to get past Myers. But what a great job from Greg. His best race so far this season, by far. Peter Burke's going to finish in eighth, but I believe he is a lap down.
I believe it was ninth for Burke. I think we had a disconnect in front of him.
Ah, gotcha. Let's see if we can bring our race winner in here tonight. Crash up Derby at the end. Chris Moses, do you copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy?
Well, congratulations, Moses, on a great victory here tonight at Imola, finishing 20 seconds up on Kirkbride, who himself put in a good run here, but never really mounted any type of pressure on you throughout the race. So it was a pretty quiet run for you tonight. Dominating fashion. You seem to figured out this track more so than pretty much anybody else here. I'm not sure how many wins that is at Imola for you, but another one in the books. Talk us through it. You had a great qualifying, followed it up in the race.
Yeah, I actually never had a completely clean lap with traffic, so it's relief. I wanted to put in a really good one early and just relax, but just kept going and never got the lucky track position, but no biggie there. Got pole, so I can't complain. Race, got a good clean start. Pushed the car a little bit in the beginning, make sure I got a gap, and from there, just managed everything. It's never boring driving these cars, and had quite a few near disasters in traffic, so it was quite a race. But I had no unforced errors, nothing serious, anything measurable on my own. There's a few times I had to take evasive action and lose time there, but other than that, it was a really good race.
Yeah, you certainly didn't have a whole lot of pressure, as actually the opening laps are not terribly clean by the majority of the field, really, except really for you guys up front, you and Kevin Kirkbride. So I don't have too much to add, but you obviously got a little something figured out on the group here at Imola, and of course it's a track you run very well. But did you find anything that you think is going to translate over the rest of the season here?
Yeah, I got to give some props to my teammate. He kind of pointed me in the right direction with his setup, and it feels like it'll translate good, especially to a bumpy track. So I'm kind of excited about that. I liked how he set up some of the suspension stuff and put my own tweaks on from there. But yeah, kind of showing once you hit about 15-20 kilos in these cars, you're going to lose a lot of time. So you see, as and Matt were quite a bit off the pace with a bit of weight on board. And Good thing we're going into Monaco next, so maybe weight won't hurt too bad there.
Yeah, speaking of Monaco, always a attrition-filled race. Have you done any practice with these cars around that track, and what are you expecting? Because it's going to be a handful.
I don't think. Well, I haven't done any laps yet, but I'm not worried about. I mean, driving Monaco's about knowing your limitations and what you can gain and what you can lose, and just driving a smart, steady line. Have the car snugged up pretty tight, as far as the rear differential and braking and all that good stuff. So you're nice and straight all the time. You might lose a little flat out pace that way, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've had bad luck in the Monaco races with either technical problems or traffic, and I'd like to get a really good result. It'll be tough with the ballast, but I think I can get a good result next week.
Yep. Well, looks like you jumped ahead of Parsons in the Drivers' Championship early on this season, and he's going to add even more weight to his running total here. So he's still going to have an advantage over him. Looks like Matt's going to drop some weight, so guys should still have a good result next week. So good luck, and great run here tonight, Moses. Well earned, and good luck next week.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Brad. Well, there you have it. Pretty aside from the two guys out front, Kirkbride and Moses, pretty quiet races for those guys. But man, further back it was action-packed.
Yeah, it really was, and I think that Monaco's always a wild card. Okay, so, but without Monaco, I think the guys are going to take a lot away from this race in terms of the starts, and really understand that they'll have to clean it up going forward a little bit. Other than that, aside from Chris Moses, you're right. I think the other standout is Kirkbride, who really did cap off a great result tonight, and it's exactly what he needed, a real shot in the arm. The guy's sitting back there right now, 8th in the individual drivers' championship, and I think if you're Kevin Kirkbride, you're thinking, well, shoot, I could be like right up there, and maybe I should be. So this result will go a long way to building a lot of confidence for him going forward tonight, I think. And so other than that, it was a good race, more or less what we expected, a little bit more of the argy-bargy type action than we expected, but nonetheless a good race. I was happy to be part of it.
Yeah, it certainly was. So well, we are, like we mentioned, we're going to be at Monaco next week, 9 p.m. Eastern next Monday, for round number 4. Until then, we're going to be racing in the GT Series Thursday night from Mosport, 9 p.m. Eastern. So look forward to that. Jack Ivey and Jake Feemster will be doing the broadcast for that race. Hopefully you guys can tune in for that. Until then, we'll be back next Monday. And thanks, Brad. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. And have a great night. See you all next week.